Okay. Helicopter number 1502. You hear that?
Yep.
Doesn't seem to ever fail. Let me see. Let's just set this up. So I don't care if you put our adjustment stuff online at the moment. Let everybody see a behind the scenes thing. It's kind of cute anyway.
Yeah, I can do that.
So that's how we set up people. Stupid, whatever, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Here, let's go like this.
Go like what? What are you doing?
Hold on, let me. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to make it so we split the difference and you can see yourself and I can. Although, mind you, I don't really see much except two blob things over there.
Don't worry, we look good.
Oh, you look good.
Oh, thank you.
Whether I look good or not doesn't matter. The point is I'm just trying to be a considerate co-host.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so let's get to the intro. So, it just popped up there, right? Hello, beautifuls and beloveds. How are you today? We are doing just splendidly. So I've got my green on. Why do I got my green on?
You tell me, is there a symbolic purpose?
Yeah, because it's my husband's favorite color, and the corporation who's been sound check stalking us has been using the media because they know it's his favorite color, so they've been putting on green on very voluptuous and sexy women. It's like I'm more sexy, more attractive, more everything than these people.
Yeah.
They think they know what his type is, and I'm like,
They don't.
they don't. And even if they did, I don't care, and neither does he. It's just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do the solicitations in the mail, and I'm like, oh look, somebody else wearing his favorite color. He doesn't like it when the women wear the color. Okay, you're wrong. He likes it for trinkets and.
Like an accent color?
Yeah, it's not. You know, when people have favorite colors, a lot of people like it for certain things. I have gamillions of different favorite colors for different things, but it's hilarious to see people doing it. So he's like, why don't you just wear some green? And I actually look good in it, so, you know, it's not my favorite color, but whatever. I'm kind of getting away from all this favorite things because it's, you know, I don't want to put myself in the, you know, a small. Well, not even that. I just don't. I don't want to limit myself. Why should I? I like everything pretty much.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm becoming more patient, more tolerant, more.
Stronger.
Stronger is a good word too. You know. Because these people are listening and they think, oh, this means this, so let's wield it and try to cause some kind of psychological harm or reaction. And I'm like, oh my God, so over it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny because we could show you so many mailers and things that we've gotten, and we had to send cease and desist letters to everybody. It's like, you know, leave us alone. We're really not even involving you or bothering you. So trying to step into our lives and access, you know, points of access, it's just going to condemn you because when we get this where it needs, you know, lawsuit, just leave us alone. That is the best remedy for all of this. Leave us the hell alone. Because now you're making us have to act upon what they dished out.
Yeah, and we know why they do it. It's
Yeah,
not a big
so
surprise.
whatever. All right, so beautifuls and beloveds, we are doing this intentionally. So A, we have documentation. B, you can see what we go through. So, you know, leave that whole setup thing live because it shows the helicopter.
Okay, I won't make no cuts or anything.
Every time we start doing this, because they can hear us talking, you know, and it's like, oh, they're going to do a video. Okay, let's do the helicopter, and I don't know.
It's like, do they want to get recorded by accident?
I don't know. It's like, just stop, people. My back is killing me already, just sitting here for, what, 4 minutes?
You want another cushion?
No, I'll just get on I might start doing yoga. or plies or something if I have to.
Mhm.
Let's just keep going. Okay, so where are we today? What would we like to share?
I guess we should start with what they are doing to us.
Okay.
Maybe as of late.
Huh?
Maybe as of late. Well, obviously, these corporations, these people, whoever, whatever they are, whatever they consider themselves as, they've been attacking us. Initially, they've started by trying to take and steal intellectual property that belongs primarily to her.
Yeah.
And they use it and they put it out on people that are in the news and the media. They just put it on people's speeches and whatnot. And at this point, we have a lot of evidence of that.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
And this got to the point that we started to find out that they were doing this. And essentially, these people have now wanted us basically this.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
And since then, we've been contacting important people. And since then, the attempts of this have been in a different shape. To the point where Additionally. And it's...
Oops, hold on.
Yeah, I hear that.
Again?
Mhm.
See, it always happens like this. Just watch our other videos and you can hear it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the shape this is now taking is starting to seem like the shape of something that not only targets us, but it's starting to be something where they're going to take out other people in entire areas just to get at us. But they can't do it too obviously, otherwise, people have certain assumptions and then they'll have to get investigated type of deal.
Yeah, it's been interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. So, should I go into more detail? Or about which parts?
Don't ask me, this is your thing.
Okay. Well, I guess the most recent thing that has happened, finally getting to this, is that they're trying to make us think that we are being betrayed by someone that we are trying to have, or we are receiving help from. And I don't think it worked, honestly.
No.
I think it just made it too obvious that these people are trying to do this.
Yeah.
Because no one's that dumb to do something like that in this instance and scenario.
They're that dumb.
They are, but that's why they did it. They put it on someone else.
Yeah, you're being a bit vague.
You want me to be more specific? I don't
Well,
mind.
don't say names, but mention at least the situation.
Okay, so here's what happened. So we wrote a letter to an important person a week ago, I believe it was, and sent it to them.
Yes.
And we're not sure, but we believe that this person did not receive it. We believe that this was intercepted.
Well, we think that this person has it now, though.
Yeah, now they do. But we believe it was intercepted, and then we found out that this person had certain words in that letter spiked and put into his speech and onto other people's speeches.
Yeah, basically, it was something I wrote, and they excerpted it and snuck in their speechwriters into this person's circle, and then we're hearing my words being regurgitated and hint dropped at, and it's like, wait, we just did this. How can that be?
Yes. So
basically everybody in the government, everybody in the entertainment industry, news, be careful. If you have somebody writing for you, check your sources. Make sure that they're good sources, because I hear a lot of my stuff that I'm creating. I'm trying to just mind my own business, do my own creations, and yes, we are reaching out to get help. We're not going to not do that. So these things, dissertations, they're copyright. You know why? Because we transcribe them and we process them and register them. They're copyright. We created it. If you don't like it, too bad. But it's our stuff. It's my stuff. It's my husband's stuff. And it's being taken and used. And places we didn't want it to. So, you know, we're not going to hold that person responsible because we know it's the enemy, our
Yeah.
enemy, trying to take this other person down. And I'm like, I'm not biting.
Yeah, it was very obvious
Yeah.
that it was like that.
Yeah, they're trying to make it just like what they were trying to do. This other group, it's the same formula to me and my former teacher, trying to create the sense of betrayal, to try to create, you know, that wedge between. You say something to this person, you say something to this person, and all of a sudden they're fighting against each other. And I'm like, you know what? I think I learned my lesson, and I'm not going to fall for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're tracking down the source, and we're going to write them a very strong, worded, nasty, if we have to be, letter, and tell them to cut the crap.
Yes.
Because, you know, you were saying your theory and thesis based on why they were trying to do that.
Let me recall. So, yeah, they're basically trying to do that because they think that it might provoke a person to feel depressed and to commit a self onto themselves. That was the one I was talking about, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm like, that's laughable because these people aren't worth doing that over.
That is true.
It's like, are you serious? Like, I know we're all stronger than that bullshit.
So they're trying, the bad guys here are trying to basically create an illusion of us being completely caged without any ability to get help, even though we are getting help.
Yeah,
And
so.
we are contacting people.
But some people who we have been contacting to do the feelers are saying, nobody's helping us, nobody's helping us. You know, just to see what kind of character they have. Because now we are suspecting either our calls are being rerouted to one main call center, and we found out that that can actually happen. There's been some incidences like that.
Yeah.
You know, your call's intercepted, and then it doesn't matter who you're calling, and then people, or they have their shills. That's what the government calls them, shills.
Yeah.
Insiders.
It's probably both. It depends on what we're trying to contact or who we're trying to contact.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, brother. So, you know, we just have to be even more louder, and just say, you know what, guys, you're idiots. You're not very smart, and your patterns are obvious. Even if you tried a new pattern, you know, the trope of a bad guy, it's, you know, sinless, very easy to see through.
Yes.
So they're just trying to get us in a tizzy. And then we heard somebody say, well, it'll all be over by Friday. You know, they were referring to the impeachment or whatever.
Yeah, and then suddenly it just didn't happen. And this is public information.
Yeah.
There was a vote. What was it? We heard that there were 2 people on both sides that voted against.
Their own party.
Yeah.
It's like, what's this?
Yeah.
This is what the Bible calls separating the wheat from the chaff.
Mhm.
Okay, look, there is no way on this planet that, at least for this account, that President Trump is guilty of doing anything wrong, because we've been looking at it. It's like, well, you know, let's really check this.
Yeah.
Because we need to be aware. You need to be aware. I'm nonpartisan. I'm trying to be.
Yeah. It sounds like someone in this Senate or whatever it is can't afford for this to go wrong.
What do you
I guess.
mean?
Well, let's look at it this way.
Okay.
There are people.
Sorry, I'm like so fascinated with
That's
this.
fine. There are people in opposite parties that are basically looking like traitors to their own parties. So that means there are people invested into the other party, but why invest in this one thing that's clearly going very badly for one particular party?
Yeah, you know, it is kind of peculiar.
Mostly because, for whatever reason, they are putting stock into this, and there's some kind of value in this for them. I don't know why. I will eventually figure it out, though.
Well, you know, here's the thing, too. Like we said in our other video, and we have the evidence of it, it's just very interesting to us, that we sent out dissertations to certain Democrats, and saying this is what we found with concerning our issues, and this needs to be resolved, and we need your help, and we want your help. And we reached across every aisle, every continent, everybody. We weren't showing any partiality either way or impartiality. We were like, hey, this involves everybody. And then it's like, oh, maybe it really does involve everybody, and these people are knowing of it in the wrong way. Some, you know. And they're like, oh, that would explain why. And then it coincided and paralleled with the timing of this current attack against President Trump. We know that these Democrat people who don't like him have been trying to get him out long before we sent out our dissertations. We're talking about this time around. And I was like, gee, you don't think that they're trying to keep us from getting word out by doing all these nasty, horrible things to all people involved? And I'm like, well, we're not going to shut up. We're, you know.
Yeah.
And then and was it Christopher too, when y'all were calling in the DC comment line?
Yes.
You guys found insiders or imposters, or what was that again?
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, we were calling, and we got like, what was it, 3 different supervisors when there's only supposed to be 1. And one of them said that they had a number, and that number apparently was 1, which also implied that there's more. But then here I am talking to a real supervisor saying they don't have numbers and...
No designations.
Yeah.
They can't, because they're working for the government.
Yeah. And that the person said there's only supposed to be 1 supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently one of the 2 are fake, obviously.
Yeah.
So
it gave it away, and then we had a call back, and then we were thanked for finding these people.
So we're assuming the first 2 were fake. But
Yeah.
who knows at this point?
I know there could be more now, but President Trump, you just need to know that somebody's spiking everything on you. We already know his campaign was spied on with somebody else, that page person, that our hearts are going out to everybody with that. So what we're saying is not implausible by any means.
Well, there's the example of his wife's speech being spiked to imitate the last president's wife's speech.
Yeah. I think she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. Both first ladies. I think they're very attractive, actually. I don't know why anybody would say anything different, but that's me. But you see, I'm completely nonpartisan, but I gotta tell you something. I'm very disappointed in the Democratic Party, and I'm like, talk to the hand. Don't bother me. And now we have certain Democrats in offices that are trying to corral us, you know? It's like they want this. They want our story. And they're like, we want to help you. But I'm like, I don't think I want the help you want to give us, because you want us to sign away all of our privacy rights. No, because we don't need to be investigated. These fools who are doing this stuff to us do.
Yeah, and these are people that were getting on board with the impeachment.
Yeah,
so
that's like a sign.
And that was before the impeachment really started going. They probably would have used this information we gave for that.
Yeah, so, you know, President Trump, you need to hear this. We're not working against you. It looks like, I don't know what they're doing, but we're not wanting to work with these people because we are questioning their morals, their ethics, their values, and especially after this whole impeachment thing, you know, I'm very logical and reasonable, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're gonna do something like that to somebody, you better have something that makes sense, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, wait. They're impeaching him for something he didn't even do. And so we were reading, we've actually been studying the laws and everything, and what impeachment really should be about. And this is not it, people. It's not even there. So now we're trying to make sure that they don't use, because we sent it to them, and so hopefully not. If they do, guys, we're speaking up and we're saying, first of all, why does this, ow, this hurts. It's pinching my little arm hairs. Jeez. They're paralleling, which is very interesting, our dissertation format. It's like, don't you guys know how to write your own thing? They're using it for, like, you know, inspiration. So that alone shows something very strange happening. I'm not flattered. Didn't you go to school, for crying out loud? You know?
Yeah.
And there's many ways to do a dissertation. There's no right or wrong way, except let's have the formality correct. And they're not even doing it correctly. You know, they're imitating it, and it's a bad imitation. And then there's certain key words, things that I say that are unique to me, not that other people don't, but they say it too. It doesn't even sound age appropriate.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying it, I know these people are not born again Christians, and they're not Jewish people either. And it's like there's certain words that are very much in that grouping that are used, even though they're everyday words, but they're not used every day. But you know, a lot of people that have the truth of Jesus Christ or the Lord in their hearts, they have an elevated speech to themselves, not snobbery, but this language is in the Bible, and you just tend to use it. And I'm like, something funny is going on there. So it would be phrases and things that were alerting us, and then the beat, emotional beats in a drama. You know, you have the button that pushes the characters to do something. Well, those are literary terms or screenwriting terms that I'm very familiar with because I'm an Emmy-nominated writer, performer, and all that. So I understand how to, I guess in a sense it's a form of directing the story and controlling the narrative. I'm like, why is it that every time we do something with our side of the dissertation, the whole thing with the Democratic and the impeachment and stuff beats the same way? So hypothetically, let's say, okay, we submitted the dissertation. Okay, so now all of a sudden they draft impeachment articles. Okay, and then we would beat, let's just say, for lack of a better term, we're gonna make this claim. And they would beat and make the same claim, but it wasn't us, like whistleblower. Okay, let's mirror the whistleblower. The picture of, Christopher saying that he worked for the FBI?
Yeah.
It was a joke, from Men in Black.
Yeah, long running joke.
Right,
actually.
yeah, for the company, our company jokes, right? So that picture. And then they'll beat and say, okay, the whistleblower, what did they say? They worked for the CIA. And then so we would beat anything, and they would match it. And they kept mirroring it. And I'm like, it looks like they're trying to suppress our true story and the fact that we are whistleblowers, but we have nothing to do with the Ukraine thing. I think they were just kind of looking for something. I mean, he could have been, I don't know, he could have been golfing and all of a sudden he would have been impeached for it. Not really, but it could have been anything. I think they were just looking for something that they could grab. I don't know, it looks interesting to me, so we want to find out what's going on. Because all I know is that these people didn't do something right. Because this whole impeachment thing is just, it's whack. These people look really whack doing it. I'm like, wow, what audacity to do that to somebody. Fine, you don't like them, but it's like they're having major conniptions over it.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. So doing that just made me think these people are unprofessional. They are they're not telling the complete truth in a sense by omitting things and stretching things around to make it fit. Like a stretchy band.
Yeah.
You know how we use stretchy bands to flex our feet and work our ankles? It's like that. They're just trying to stretch it as much as they can. And what's happening is it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner that you can see through it, and the hole is coming through because they've stretched the truth so far. I'm like, holy beans. So I'm totally turned off. And unfortunately, the one or two bad apples have ruined the whole bunch. And I'm like, here I am trying to be cool and nonpartisan. You're independent. We have everybody, all kinds of representations and parties and stuff. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't force myself to believe a lie. I just can't bring myself to just,
Yeah.
And that's what brought me to this decision personally, because of our personal situation. And then the next question is, why all the to-do about this? It must, we know we're 100% right. that's never been a question. People believing us, that has never been a problem. They just don't want to deal with it because it's pretty severe. I mean, really, how would you like it if you're having a girlfriend over and, you know, you're just BSing and you're just expressing yourselves, you know, shooting the breeze, you're, you know, blowing off steam and doing all that, and it ends up in the media as a TV show, as somebody's speech, as an article, or, you know, it's like, okay, first the questions are, how is this happening? Right? And then let's find the access points. And it doesn't just happen once in a blue moon. That blue moon's around 24/7. I was just like, this, now, you know? And we have other people that are saying, wait, didn't you just do a video like this? I'm like, wow. You know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes, if it's not verbatim, it'll be almost so parallel and so that's like almost exact. I'm like, oh, that is not a coincidence. And then so then they plant these people around us in our lives that are all of a sudden just randomly talking about coincidence. It's like, wait, we were talking about going to lunch. Oh, wait a minute, we were just talking about how many sit-ups we need to do here. It's just so random. And I'm like, where are you from and who are you working for? Because after a while, it's just like the chance and probability of this happening so frequently that it doesn't happen. So these very people who are trying to convince us of coincidence are the ones creating coincidences that don't even believe in coincidences because they're trying to create the coincidence. And they don't like the fact that we're 100% right and that we've called them out, and we're 100% right with the call out. They're like, oh my gosh, they see that you guys are not opaque. And, you know, these are tactics that have been done throughout ancient times. They've been written about in literature. This is war tactics.
Yeah.
This is the narcissist unveiling. It's the narcissist trying to do their thing. It's, you know, it's quite legitimate.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the fact that these people that we've reached out to know darn well what we're talking about.
They act like it.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Clowns jumping out of the clown car. It's like, you know, you would have been better off if you just kind of just helped us. And the interference, we showed that video, right? You need to get, can you just all entertain? Why don't you go get those envelopes again? So if somebody
Oh.
didn't see the other video, they can see this one.
Yeah.
And know for sure. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, you did damage to that bottle.
Yeah, I try to get the label off so I can drink it on camera.
Oh. You can use my glass, drinking glass. Anyway, yeah, we don't support any corporations now like that. You gotta pay us. Not doing it anymore. Okay, so while he's doing that, look guys, remember the video? See, I found my pearl necklace. This was the very first video I did about the pearl necklace, and that video was removed, and we found it and found this too. But the pearl necklace is that all of it? There's more.
Yeah, there's some in the plastic sleeves. You want those too?
Oh, sure. But the pearl necklace is the bait. And the bait is, we're talking and using this as our narrative and what we are talking about. Satan, traits. God, traits. Completely opposite. One glorifies beauty, peace, harmony, love, and God, his character himself. The other column, with all his evil to various degrees, you know, is satanic and sinful. And this is righteousness. So we have, in many cases, I mostly have made a lot of videos about this, but the pearl necklace, my story that I created, and it didn't exist anywhere else, this story is about taking the bait of, oh, beautiful, I want that, and lusting after it. Lust doesn't have to be a sexual matter. It can just be a strong, urging desire, and you can lust after many things. And so people lusting after the pearl necklace, wanting this, and they put it around their neck, not realizing it's fake. It ain't even real, it's just a bunch of cheap plastic. But really, what's worse is that they realize, oh, it's getting tighter and tighter and heavier and heavier.